Good morning, everybody. This is Deb. Yeah, it's me, and look at this hot mess behind me, too. So both me and my room is a hot mess. That is all bead stuff, has nothing to do with my paper crafting stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, yep, this is me without my glasses, without my makeup, and pretty much a hot mess. Anyway, this is a video response for crafting with wine, and if I'm looking down, it's because I am looking at a sheet of paper with questions on it. So crafting with wine is doing a giveaway. I will put a link below in the description to the giveaway, but she's got 15 questions we're supposed to answer, and we're supposed to be showing ourselves in the video. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, and I'm doing this on my phone. I have no idea whether it's going to work or how long it'll let me film. So here we go. Number one, my name is Deb Hauk, or Deborah Hauk. How long have you been doing YouTube videos? I've been on YouTube for lots of years, but I just started doing videos at the end of January of this year, 2017. So 3 months I have been doing videos, and Misty Blackburn helped get me started on that. She's probably sorry now. But yeah, that's it. Number two, how long have you been crafting? Well, I can remember as a child doing lots of different types of crafts. Like I tried knitting. I had a little spinning wheel actually to make yarn, which was really cool, and I wish I had that now. Probably worth some money. But anyway, but I always felt like my brother and mother were more creative than me, so it never really stuck. I also did needlepoint. I used to love to do needlepoint and cross stitch, and I probably still would. And I also did latch hook back then. And back in the 70s when I was in high school, yeah, back in the days, I guess I was a post-hippie era. I don't know. I sort of missed the hippie era, but we still had the bell bottoms and all that. Anyway, we used to embroider all down the side seam of our jeans, our bell bottom jeans, and I wish I had those still too. Not that I could fit in them, because they were probably a size 0 or 3 back then. Anyway, so yeah, I guess I've always been crafting, but then, you know, I got married and I had kids, and I got divorced and I got married and I had a kid. And I worked all my life. I've worked like more than full time, like 40, 60 hours a week a lot of the time. And for about 10 years of my 20s, I guess all my 20s, I was going to school nights and taking classes and trying to get my degree, which I did eventually get my degree. So I was raising a family, taking care of a home, going to school and doing homework, sometimes all nights up doing homework so I could get my stuff in, and then working more than full time, because I was trying to work my way up at work while I was going to school, and you know, all that good stuff. So I've been crafting all my life, I guess, but I had a long 30-some year hiatus, and then really about 2011 or 12, I started making jewelry. I've always loved jewelry, so I took a class like in 2010 or something. No, it couldn't have been 10. Anyway, 11 probably. Just how to make simple earrings at a local place, and I loved it. And then my daughter, in Christmas of, I don't know if it was 2011 or 12. Anyway, she got me a kit from Michael's and a book, and that started me on my mess back here, because I became addicted to beads and beadwork and making jewelry. And then I decided a year later, maybe I better try and sell some of this stuff. So I started doing craft fairs and all that. That has slowed. I am in a slump right now. I'm probably going to be destashing some of all that, but not all of it, because I still want to make jewelry too. And as far as paper crafting, well, I started getting into planners like November last year, and I got a happy planner, and I love it, and I'm way behind in it because April somehow went by without me knowing. And anyway, then January of this year, I started paper crafting. Misty Blackburn and I decided to do our first ever pocket letter swap together, and that was my first video as of the pocket letter that I think of the one that she made me, because I felt bad that I couldn't share what she made me, but she could do it of mine. So anyway, that's it, and I'm loving paper crafting. I'm learning so much. I did my first ever flippy book thing the other day, and I did a first tag and a first wand. So a lot of firsts in the last 3 months. Okay, number 3 is, why did you first start crafting, and what did you first start crafting and why? I think I already went into that. Mostly jewelry, and I've always loved jewelry, and I have no jewelry on right now except earrings. Anyway, I love rings mostly, and I wanted to learn how to make rings with gemstone cabochons in them, which I have not done. I learned how to set a cabochon, but I have not actually done it. I need to get back into torch work and stuff and do that. So number 4, what do you craft now? I craft some jewelry still, wire work jewelry mostly, and beaded, and paper crafts. I'm learning, so I can't pinpoint it to a specific thing, but I have enough dies and stamps and markers and lots of goodies that I am really enjoying paper crafting. What is my most prized craft that I have made? Well, I think it was a necklace that I made that had a dream catcher, and it was out of like an antique bronze wire, so the whole chain was handmade with bead stations of turquoise, and then the dream catcher turned out really good and had turquoise in it also. So I think maybe that piece. Number 6, are you a hoarder or do you purge? If a hoarder, what do you hoard? Gemstone beads and crystals and freshwater pearls and tools. I have a thing for jewelry tools. I finally stopped buying them. And then in paper crafting, paper. Oh my gosh, there's so many pretty papers. How can you not hoard paper, right? Anyway, yeah, paper. Everything having to do with paper crafting now, but and I've slowed tremendously on the beading stuff. About a year or 2 ago, I had found this UK-based company called jewelrymaker.com. Jewelry Maker. They spell it different than we do. .com. And they have live videos, live shows, where they have guest designers and they sell gems. Well, it started off as gemstones only. Now they've gotten into seed beads and other stuff, and I don't watch it anymore. Oh my word, the prices were so good. It was so hard to not buy, and I probably charged way too much money buying gemstone beads, but that has been an addiction. And I will be doing some destashes. Prior to that, I bought mostly at like Bead Fest and online, like Fire Mountain and artbeads.com and a few Fusion Beads and a few other places. But when I first started buying beads and stuff, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know the sizes right and everything, so I have some beads that I'll never use. They're just not me. So yeah, I expect some major destashes in the future, as soon as I can get my butt videoing and taking pictures of things. Like I was looking at, I have a bin over here called Magnesite. Magnesite looks like turquoise, but it's not. It's colored. Well, I have white magnesite, which I like, and then I have blue magnesite that looks like blue turquoise. But the pieces I have are like, some of them are huge. I'm like, I obviously didn't know what I was doing when I bought those, because I will never, I'll never use them. So I'm going to de-stash those. Yes, I'm sort of a hoarder. I have to get on board with purging soon. Because I have a small house, and as you can see, this is my craft room, jewelry room. It's full, and what I'm sitting at right now is my paper crafting desk. So you can't see that stuff. But I did do a video on that a little while ago, the corner of paper crafting. Do you do any monthly stamp or kit clubs? Who and why them? Not in any stamp clubs. The only kit club I'm in is Bargain Bead Box, which is a bead and jewelry kit club that is $15.95 a month for roughly $51 to $55 a month value. And I like that one. I like getting the surprise once a month. And I have found that what they say is a $51 or so value really is that much value at the low end of the retail scale. So I enjoy that kit. What is your craft style? Is number 8. Do you use a signature element of your projects? I'm still trying to figure that out. In pocket letters, I sort of have a signature element, and then I usually always put a little mini envelope up in the upper left corner pocket. I change out the style of the envelope and the color paper and so forth sometimes, but that's it. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking I'm a cross between a boho and a shabby chic. I like florals. I like lace and trim, but I also like leather and a little bit rustic stuff. And I really enjoyed. I did a tag. I did 3, puzzle pieces, altered puzzle pieces for Kathy's Cards Challenge a little bit ago, and I did 2 of them. It's sort of what I usually do as a style, but I did one in what I'll call mixed media, very different from me. My friends didn't really like it, but I really had a blast doing that, so I kind of like mixed media. And in jewelry, I really want to get into setting cabochons to make pendants and rings. And also, I want to get back into torch enameling because I love it. It allows you to be creative and use color, which I like too. Do you have your dream craft space? No. I do not. For me to be happy, I probably need to move. And that's not going to happen. So I just need to de-stash, clean it up, and make it my dream craft space. It would probably look more like Jennifer Maguire's, but I don't ever think it will. Never ever. A, it costs too much money. B, I just don't have that kind of a space. So anyway. Do you, number 10 is, do you craft with music or TV? What do you listen to or watch? Well, definitely not TV. My little room up here, I don't have any music. I used to bring my computer up and put on Pandora, because you can do your own playlist, and I did that. I would prefer to listen to music because it gets kind of quiet up here. But lately, mostly I listen to birdsong outside. But it would be music. And I'm an old kind of soft rock kind of girl. Country folk rock, I guess. Like Crosby, Stills and Nash. I like Jewel. I like Stevie Nicks. You know, that kind of stuff. But I also like elevator music, piano music. Some classical, not all. So I like a mixture. I play piano a little bit, and so I learned classical in that, and I do have my favorites there as well. So a little bit everything. I like country also, because I can understand the words. I don't like all country. My dad was a country music person. My mother was more elevator music. And of course I grew up in the 60s and 70s, which was rock all the way, you know, even like Steppenwolf and stuff like that. But I've gotten away from some of that, so I'm more like folk rock, which I think of as Crosby, Stills and Nash, Simon and Garfunkel, that kind of stuff. Okay, 11. If you were a Disney princess, who would you be? Ooh, that's a tough one. Hmm. Cinderella, I guess, because I'd like to be transformed from the ugly housemaid into a beautiful princess. I don't know. I guess that's it. 12. What is your favorite animal? Well, I have a kitty cat. Her name is Callie. She's sleeping right now because she's a definite night cat. Um, so, yeah, Callie is, I guess, cats, kitty cats. I like doggies too. I like tigers and stuff in the zoo though too, so I'm going to say the cat family. But I love some birds also, like peacocks. I love peacocks. But I'll stick with cats, I guess. What is your guilty pleasure? Huh. Probably all of this, because I have spent way too much money on my crafting. Way too much. And I'm thinking that if I can sell a lot of this stuff, I could probably live off it for another year or two without depleting my savings. Anyway, 14. What do you like to collect? I used to try and collect teapots. I only have about 3 or 4. I have a collection of plates, decorative plates, but that was not my thing. That was my father's. And when he passed away, I have a brother who's 5.5 years older than me, and then I have a half sister who is closer in age to my daughter, who's in her early 40s. Anyway, the 3 of us got a huge box filled with these plates. We each got certain collections. We went through them together, and I still have that, and I have some hanging in my dining room, so I guess I'm a plate collector, but not by choice. And I collect this, my hobbies. So anyway, coffee or tea? Well, I like my coffee in the morning. I usually put it in these mugs with the lids that I got by Tervis, I think. Yeah. Because it helps them keep warmer longer, but I also can see what's left. And then in the afternoon and evening, I usually switch to tea. Hot tea. I also like cold tea, but I hate cold coffee. Don't give me frappuccino, cold, frozen cappuccino. Don't give me coffee ice cream, cause ick, ick. Don't like coffee ice cream. Don't like cold coffee, but I like cold tea and hot tea. And I have tea. Oh, what's it called? Oh, shoot, Tivana. Tivana. I have a Tivana tea steeper thing and loose tea. I also have tea bags and all kinds. And so yeah, my son and I both like tea, but he's actually started drinking coffee too. So those are my 15 questions and answers. I'm at 18 minutes, so I guess I did okay. Hopefully I can get this to upload. Sorry I look such a wreck. I gotta get ready. I've got to get cleaned up now and get ready to and change and get ready to head to my mom's. Today is Tuesday, so I go to my mom's. And how I'm doing this is on a selfie stick that I sat my phone on. I don't know, guys. I don't know. It doesn't really hold the phone steady. It's supposed to have Bluetooth in it. I have no idea what that means or how to use that. But I'm just figuring I'm going to plug my phone into my computer and try Movie Maker that Miss Crafty Girl 42 said she uses. So I'm going to try that and see if I can get this to load. So hopefully it'll work, and hopefully Crafting with Wine, you'll have your video. And sorry I'm such a hot mess. Maybe I should have put makeup on, got rid of the baggy eyes, and so forth. Oh well. This is me. It is what it is. That's it. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.